Today I want to talk about zero waste period products. There are so many period products that one can use, both eco-friendly and not so eco-friendly. And today I want to talk about the 3 that I've tried and used, and those are Compostable Pads, Reusable Pads, and the Menstrual Cup. So leave a like and let's jump in. The first product that I bought when I decided I was going to go zero waste was Reusable Pad. So I bought this 5-pack of reusable pads online from Amazon for $15. They were running a special. So the name and this brand is We Greco. Alright, so this is the pad. It folds up really nice, easily, and it's super convenient because you're not having to deal with any issues of contamination because the pad lining that's going to be against your body is protected by this covering right here. So let me just go ahead and open this up for you guys so you can see. So this lining right here is charcoal and it's super absorbent, which is really great. I find this to be extremely comfortable. It goes around your underwear, so you'd put your underwear here and then close it like this. This particular pad has 2 separate places where you can clip in. So if you have bigger underwear, the first one, and if you have smaller underwear, you can place it in the second one. It was not as bad as I thought it would be. Initially, I was concerned that I was going to be washing blood out of my pads and that was going to be an issue, but I realized that it's not. This particular brand does not say that you need to soak your pads, so I was just able to rinse it out. I used some mild soap initially to just kind of get the blood out, and then later I washed it either by themselves or with dark clothes, like all black, just in case I didn't get all the blood out. So I used this for many months, but I wasn't a huge fan of how it felt when I was up walking around and trying to do my everyday stuff like going to class. And I was really concerned that this is a pretty thick pad. So I was pretty concerned that people were able to see my pad outline. And that wasn't something that I was obviously interested in. So I purchased a second product. This is a Natracare pad. This pad is compostable, which is really nice if you have a compost bin, which I did not have. So that's another funny story. I think I can tell it to you guys really quick. But I purchased these pads and I used these during the day because I didn't like how thick the reusable pads were, which, by the way, I still use at night because I really like how comfortable it is and I'm not concerned about leaking. Whereas sometimes if I'm using a disposable pad, I would be concerned. So that's a really great benefit of the reusable pads, but it's something I still don't use during the day. So initially I switched to this, as I mentioned. I didn't have a composting bin, and so I thought, okay, I know I can't just like throw this outside because it's not going to compost. Secondly, people might be really concerned if they walk up and they're like, oh, there's blood on this cloth thing. Oh my God, somebody's dead. Not the case. But what I did was probably even more concerning, and that was after using these compostable pads, I decided to go bury them. So one day I just put all of my compostable pads in a bag. I hiked up a mountain, literally, and I didn't have a shovel, so I was digging with my hands, and I put my pad in the mountain and covered it with like rocks and dirt and grass, and I was like, please, I hope no one saw me do this. It was pretty embarrassing, and for that reason I no longer use these unless it's a case of an emergency. If you do have composting, I think it is a good option, although it does say on the brand's website that it can take up to 2 years to compost. So while it does take a lot less time to compost than plastic pads or traditional pads, it still is a very long process. So that's why I tend not to use these. However, I do have these Natricare panty liners, and I do use these on occasion. They're really good for just like, oh, I think my period's gonna start, I don't want to wear anything else, or like you have that concern. So I do use these on occasion. Again, these are compostable. It's by the same brand as the larger pads, but I don't go through these that often. They are kind of pricey, which is a downside, but I was able to find them locally, which is a plus side. Last thing I want to talk about is the menstrual cup. So I do have a horror story that goes along with the menstrual cup, and I really want to put that in a different video because I won't say it's long, but it's entertaining enough by itself and it deserves its own place in the world. So I do want to talk about the menstrual cup, and the brand I have is Lunette, I believe is how you pronounce it, LunettE, and it was the only brand I was able to get at a local grocery store. I got this when I came back from being abroad, just because the situation I was living in, there wasn't clean water, so there was clean water, but there was also a lot of contaminated water, and I was very concerned that the menstrual cup was not going to be clean. Just clarifying. But when I came back to the United States, I wasn't so scared about that. So I purchased the menstrual cup, and I now use the menstrual cup for every single period. And I tend to use the menstrual cup during the day. Besides my horror story, different video, I am unable to notice it really, and I appreciate how flexible it is with my body. There's different menstrual cups for different types of bodies, but I've really enjoyed using it. It's super small and I can take it with me if I'm traveling. It's super convenient. I would recommend though making sure if you're traveling that there is somewhere for you to get clean water, or you'll have the capability of boiling water to clean it. And going off of that, just a quick tip. So this is the stem and it is recommended, like, if you have shorter vagina or anything like that, that you can cut it. I would not suggest cutting it until you know how it's gonna move in your body. Like if you're working out, or even if you're walking, it can move up in your vagina, especially the longer you have it in. So I would recommend waiting to cut off the stem right here. And additionally, again, there's another video coming, but additionally, I would recommend really doing your research on your specific product. So not just any menstrual cup. You can look up the Diva cup, great. You can watch videos about people reviewing the Diva cup, great. But the Diva cup may not be your cup, and that's important because there are different instructions for different cups. So besides a few little issues right at the beginning, the menstrual cup is seamless. It's what I prefer to use. I have a few friends who have started using it and they won't go back to using disposable tampons or pads. And I have some friends who've been using it for a while and they love it. It's an investment at the beginning. It is kind of expensive. I got mine for $30 locally, so I didn't ship for it online or anything like that. But it eventually will save you money, super easy. So I would recommend at least trying it. And I have seen menstrual cups at TJ Maxx and Marshall's before. So next time you're in one of those department stores, you might just look because you never know. And I saw this exact cup actually for $15 at Marshall's. So you could save big bucks initially and then long term. I actually thought about buying the menstrual cup and giving it to a friend who I was trying to convince to use it but I thought that might be a little too pushy, and I didn't want to do that. So instead, I just let it be there for someone who might be interested in it and might actually use it, instead of telling my friend, like, use it. It's a little personal, and I, of course, don't want to push anybody into doing something that might make them feel uncomfortable. And that being said, if any of these products make you feel uncomfortable, that's your decision. It's not me to tell you, like, use the menstrual cup. No, girl. If you don't want to put anything up your vagina and you just want to use pad, great. Or if you're like, pads make me feel like I'm wearing a diaper, I just want to wear a menstrual cup, that's your decision too. So whatever you decide to do, I hope you at least try one of these more eco-friendly methods, and I hope that everything goes great for you. If you have any questions, again, please refer to your specific brand's website. But if there's anything you think I could help you out with, feel free to tell me in the comments and I'll try to respond. Best of luck to you guys, and happy period.